This week we've got the Anderson boys. Mark has gone from prison to property, and his son has followed him from his own line of business to the property business as well. Super successful. If you're wanting to know how it all goes on behind the scenes, these are the boys to listen to. Like and subscribe with as many people as possible.
Well, when I worked in the prison service, Pullman had I was in Shorts for 25 years then. Pullman advertised that they were opening up a theatre. It was like the first theatre built in a prison ever anywhere.
Wow.
And I went, I've got background to that. I was in bands and I was a magician, children's entertainer for years and all this as well. So I applied for the job and I got the job. So we were teaching the young lads everything about entertainment, drama, hip hop. We had hip hop guys coming in. We had DJs coming in to teach them DJ skills. I started 2 bands with them, so I was teaching them how to do bands and stuff like that. But this is all the equipment we used and stuff.
Have you kept in touch with any of them? Do you know if any of them have gone on to be quite good successes?
I've bumped into a couple of them in the streets, and I bumped into one of the old officers I used to know the other day, and just having a natter with him, and he's about to retire and stuff like that. But I always bump into someone. I go, like, we're out for a coffee, and I say to my wife, he used to be in Shorts, or he was in Pullman, or whatever, you know.
Wow. Again, it's another community that just has become smaller as time goes on, doesn't it?
That's it, you know. So, and I meet up with the guys for Shorts because we've got a close bond and stuff like that. So I meet up with them every 2-3 times a year for a rose trip. One end, Rose Street,
right.
in Edinburgh, you know what I mean? So we usually get to the other end, they bother, you know.
See, this is what I love about when you have these conversations. Is you see the things you find out about people, because never once did I think you were going to tell me you're working in a prison building theatres and guys having hip hop in the prison and all that.
I know. We got like famous hip hop artists coming in teaching them, and we get famous actors coming in. The guy who taught drama was, do you know the actor Peter Mullen?
Yeah. He's
brother.
big, right?
It was Lenny Mullen.
Right.
So Lenny came in, taught him drama and stuff like this. Then like stories I get from him are incredible about, like when they filming Braveheart, because his brother was in Braveheart. They met Mel Gibson, and just amazing stories he got from him, you know. So it was superb.
Wow.
But it was just one of these things where you just learn a lot, you know.
Aye.
So but anyway, by the by.
I've said that a lot. But all the experiences that you have when you're younger, they're all. I mean, that is life, isn't it? It's all like life experience and learning as you go, and the skills that you pick up at that point, you'll use them again further down the road. So
that's it. You know what I mean? So it's good fun. Good fun.
So prior to getting involved with property, then what was your background kind of directly? Was it the prison?
Prison
directly
service,
before that?
I started in 91. I was 21-year-old and green as grass.
Young age to get arrested, isn't it?
I know, keep thinking that, you know.
That's how it all started.
So I started in Shorts 91, and that was just like hell on earth then. It was just right so the time, and so you thought that was normal, and nobody wanted to come and work in Shorts because it was that bad at the time. But I just thought it was normal because you know that's the only thing you know.
That's right.
So you're rolling about and going into all sorts of situations and stuff like that. So, but I enjoyed it. I must admit, I absolutely loved all that nonsense. But then 25 years there, then Pullman came round. We went to Pullman. Pullman was mental. Just every single day you're rolling about on the floor with these young lads that have got ego trips. You know, they can't back down,
Yeah.
So they end up rolling about with each other, and it was just mad. So,
it's a scary world, eh?
Retired in 2019.
I want to say, so where did the property part come in then? How did you go from working in the prison to property?
Well, we'd always spoke about it, eh?
Yeah.
Just something on you go, you can.
But basically just started at one of Paul's jump starts. He didn't even want to come along, to be honest.
Right.
That's what the prison service does to you. It just makes you cynical about everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting listening to a guy talk on stage for 2 days and stuff, but
yeah.
It's funny at the end of it, obviously you get sold into Protégé and stuff, and it was him that told me, right, we're doing Protégé.
Wow.
So how it obviously turned around, you know.
A ton of events.
So
Paul's a good salesman, I think that's maybe why.
Well, that's probably why, absolutely.
But that was kind of how we got started. Like at the start we were like, we'll just save up, maybe get one buy to let, and then 5 years later we'll save up again. But obviously the things you learn, like it's crazy how far you can actually go just by doing that course, you know.
I mean that was definitely something I took out of it when I went to the first Jumpstart event was the amount of strategies that are available. Because for me, and still is, service accommodations my kind of main strategy. At the time, it was my only one, and then I couldn't believe the amount of other strategies, which especially what you guys are doing, sourcing. You know, you wouldn't know that's a thing unless you do get
Aye, absolutely.
educated.
I know. Buying discounted properties and stuff, you know, you never think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you doing adverts to get them, or how
We're
are you
starting
getting them?
today.
Yeah, we
Oh,
just
yeah.
got a text for.
Starting them today.
So we're like we've ran ads a little bit before, but just not our thing. We're not great at them, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we've done like one deal off the back of our ads. All our other stuff's just been organic and just working with agents and
Right.
other sourcers and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're working with a boy, Andrew Graham, so he does like all the back end systems as well.
Ah, right. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Andrew.
good.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
He's really good. So
Nice lad.
we've known him for a wee while, and then we
Right.
bumped into a networking event maybe about a month ago, and we thought, well, you know, he can do that side, we can do the sourcing, so we kind of done a bit of collab and
Good.
see what we can do. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed they
It's been
work.
fun, eh?
Yeah.
Because we've had to do videos and stuff like that. So
Right.
just getting out and filming and, you
Yeah.
know, so I'm the kind of face off that, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Was that a decision that you made, or was it?
I think
Just Jack
well,
pushing it.
everybody kind of got that way. It's just like, oh, you're kind of older and people believe you, and you know.
Right.
But obviously, I'm the better looking one as well, you know, which helps.
Aye, no, it's just a bit more like your age. It's a
Authentic.
bit more and
Yeah.
just it looked, you were good on the videos and stuff when we first done them the first time round.
Yeah.
Because the first time we ran them, when we done it ourselves, we both done a video each for the ads, and your one obviously seemed to do better. So
Right.
You were good though. It was, we were standing at
Aye.
the Kelpies and stuff, freezing our balls off. It was like,
our lips were like frozen. We done it in winter.
so we done a video, and like when we were behind the camera, we were all wrapped up, hats on and gloves and all that stuff,
Aye.
right? Like go and we're holding the phone and stuff like that, and then like.
We would swap round. It was
I
like,
swap
right,
round,
take the
like,
jacket
take everything
like
off again.
professional now.
Frozen, man.
At
Honestly,
least
couldn't
it
feel their
would
lips.
make you
but-
do it in one take because it was so close.
Aye.
You just
I
like,
know.
let's nail this
I
the
know, and
first
we
time,
kept
and
making
that's
mistakes,
it.
and
Yeah.
aye, it was fun the way.
Aye. Now our new videos are going to be quite good though. So
And
got-
who have you got somebody doing them professionally, or is it just you holding the camera and your dad?
Aye, no, it's
behind-
us filming ourselves.
Right.
But after trial and error, you get better at it, you know, like you buy a decent set of mics and
Yeah.
I mean your iPhone, the camera on it's good enough.
I know.
Right.
I know. I mean, a lot of these guys that are the professionals and doing it, that's
Yep.
the same equipment that they're using. Because
Aye.
you're right, the camera phones and things like that nowadays are that good. Then
That's all you need. It is.
it's literally
No.
you can do everything.
Yeah.
You can
As long
run
as
your
you buy
full business.
decent mics, which we did. Aye, it's it's a good setup.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah,
Apart from your video yesterday, you had the stand sitting up there,
Right.
and by the end of the video, it was way down there. It was like your microphone. It was like going
There's a bit
down.
that much
over
space
time
above
it's
the
gradually,
head, aye.
it's gradually moving.
Aye.
But
So-
nobody will see it.
I know.
So you guys went to Jumpstart, you said about 5 years ago.
Nah.
It was September 22, eh?
Oh,
Just
sorry,
at the end
apologies,
of
sorry.
2022,
Aye.
aye.
So 2022, done that course. How did you decide, as we said a minute ago, there's a lot of different strategies. How did you decide that kind of sourcing was going to be your sort of main bag at that point in time?
Aye.
Because ultimately, if there's two of you doing it, then you're going to need quite a lot of income
Mhm.
to fund
think
two
it's gonna
salaries to start with. You know, how did you decide that
We
was the
knew
kind
we
of...
needed cash flow, eh? And like it was a case of, well, let's do a flip, let's do this, let's do that. But and it was yourself especially. I always say the younger, it's not a younger man's game, but if you're younger, you know social media better.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really into social media back then, but Jack, obviously, with his age and stuff like that, and you did well. You started finding
Aye.
deals and finding.
The social media thing really built us.
Networking,
Like
eh?
that's where we've grew our business off the back of, you know. But like when you're saying how we got started, what strategy we wanted to go down. At the start, we just tried everything. Like
Right.
one week we were a big developer, next week we were a buy-to-let landlord. Like you were just trying everything, eh?
Yeah.
See what worked.
Aye,
Yeah.
aye. We done like our first flip. We've done an SA. That was our first two deals, and we just bought them for another sourcer,
Wow.
while
Right.
also try to like get our own deals sourced as well. And then it was just like we sourced the deal. And we knew that was like quicker income rather
Yeah.
than building a portfolio.
Yeah.
So it was like doing both of them, but that's kind of paying the bills, you know.
Yeah.
Was that the
then-
Fault House one? Was that the first one?
Aye, that was the first one. But obviously, like, we done our first flip. That was up in Fife. We bought that for David Smart as well.
Right, okay.
And that was quite good as well. But
That was good.
A lot of
Screwed by the
lessons.
builders and a lot of lessons learnt of that one, eh?
Yeah,
But
Was
yeah.
it builders that you knew, or was it people that part of your team that you
was
had kind of
builders.
developed?
I
Or
think
over time we were sending them stuff like, oh, can you price this up?
Yeah.
And we built that relationship up,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But
I think we found them on social media, eh?
I think so.
And, then we
Yeah.
started, and they would give us prices for a refurb,
right,
and then they saw what we were doing, but they said, "Yeah, we'll do your refurb and that sort of thing." But then they saw what we were doing and how busy we were, and they says, "Right, we'd like to go into business with you and stuff,"
right,
you know. But that didn't work out great. They were,
No.
you know, they were just rogues,
really,
you know. It's just so I, you know, it's just we had a conversation and stuff like that. And says, you know, eventually we got to the point where, we went, listen, this isn't going to happen. We don't want to work with you and all that stuff. But we were still in the middle of a refurb, weren't we?
Aye.
A flip. So like after,
We couldn't have timed it any worse, you know.
oh,
It was-
I know,
Yeah.
just
badly
like you know, they obviously took the hump.
right,
So like one of them took the huff. I questioned him about something and he ignored me, and I questioned him again. He didn't like it. He took the hump and he walked out the meeting that we had, and he drove from Glasgow all the way up to our
project.
project in Fife and took all our gear out, materials that we'd bought, and
Oh my-
disappeared.
oh my God,
So I just
Luckily, we've got a bit of skill to actually finish it ourselves, you
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
our budget was gone. Like that was it.
Yeah.
We just went up there for the next month every single day and just finished
Mostly
it
you.
ourselves.
'Cause I was still
So,
working my job.
Yeah.
So
you
you were
helped as well because you phoned up now and again going, "How's it going?"
site manager, you know.
Project manager.
Have you got that skirting on you? You know?
Make sure the apprentice is doing his work.
Go up at weekends, make sure it's all straight
Aye.
and nothing
Yeah.
squint.
But we done it the way.
Aye.
And it was
Yeah.
good, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, when
But-
you're tossed into a corner, you tend to do stuff.
I
feel
was
like
just about to ask what your
Yeah.
mindset was like at that point, because a lot of people would have given up or thought, right, we've made a mistake. This isn't for me. You can't handle the stress or the pressure or whatever. But clearly, you went the other way.
Yeah, we're not like that, are we?
we had no choice, so
Yeah.
we were on a bridge. We had to get it finished and
Had
get
to
it,
get it finished,
sold,
aye.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's, but I think that was one of the best things that could have happened, because after that, I was still working my job, and ultimately the first step was to get me out, so we were both full time.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we're like, right, let's sit down, put a plan together. How can we get that first move? And it was almost like we're proving ourselves, like, right, now we can do it. You know, we're
Yeah.
away from them. Let's just get on with it. And
Yeah.
it really excelled us, to be honest. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes you need these wee hurdles to go, and you look
Yeah,
back and you,
you
go,
do.
right, let's go to the next level, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
No, I
just
thought.
to pivot and start again, haven't you? Kind of
Yeah.
reassess everything and then go for it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So I think if everything does go plain sailing for a long period of time, and then you do get a hurdle, you don't know how to deal with the hurdle.
Yeah.
You know, you're better just dealing with it head on, aren't you?
Aye.
But sometimes a lot of
Yeah.
challenges, especially at the start. Let's be honest, you start any business, it's absolutely carnage at the start, because let's be honest, we've all came from backgrounds that are not really relative to the business that we're in just now.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. You're just trying to wing it, learn along the way, take as much stuff in,
Yeah.
fail and learn for the failings.
That's it. Yep.
And
And
Every
then put it
day
into
almost,
action.
aye.
Aye.
Yep.
E-
There's
exactly.
always something, eh?
I
Aye.
still to the current day. And
Yeah.
Aye.
I think that's a valid point for anybody that's listening to take that in, because again, what we talk about all the time is, yes, social media is important. We've all got our own social media platforms. Yes, we need to sell ourselves and sell the businesses, but by the same point, what we've just discussed is that is the version of you behind the camera in the freezing cold, and nobody sees that. You know, that is the actual reality of running a business.
Yeah,
A lot of days it's seriously challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, aye, I know.
Sometimes
I mean-
you oh, sorry.
None you.
I was going to say, some days you just wake up and you're like, what challenges are going to hit me today? You're just waiting on
I know,
it. You know,
it's
you're,
just waiting.
you're almost expecting, like, what's... And then you come a bit numb to it. You're like, well, it's just another day. And then,
Yeah, and you get
Yeah.
through it.
aye, it's like
Yeah, you
anything.
do,
There's
aye.
good days at work and bad days.
That
And
is.
Yeah.
And I
you take
think
the good
like,
when they come.
you and me, we are focused, aren't we? I mean, we say, right, well, meet up, you know, we don't have an office, but we work for houses, then we'll meet up, you know, a few times a week and whatever cost us, say no more.
Go for it.
And like we'll come up with a plan and we'll stick to it. You know, we are focused that way, and I think that's why we keep going, you know, and keep doing what we're doing, eh?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So,
And you're obviously loving it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's good. Don't get me wrong. Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes and going,
Can I
right,
get
I've
back
still
to
got
sleep?
that. I've still got that
Yeah.
to do. I've still to speak to him. Stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's a lot to juggle, there's no doubt. I mean, I wake up in the middle of the night giving it what am I going to hear from that Express Mortgages today about we're trying to busy get our portfolio off a bridge onto a buy-to-let mortgage,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
lender that we're
Yep.
dealing with right now, I will not mention any names, is oh my days, putting you through the hoops. It's just ridiculous, and you just
Yeah.
think, oh my God, what now?
I know, and lenders want so much information for you as well. It's,
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to be
The
done
only thing I've not given
perfectly.
them is a blood sample so far,
Yeah.
but I'm
They'll be
just
asking
waiting.
for that soon.
I'm waiting for
Aye,
that
that's-
call.
yeah,
That'll be the
yeah.
next thing. So yeah.
So you talking about the funding aspect then, if you guys are sourcing a deal on it, talk to us a wee bit about what you guys, offer.
Mhm.
So at what point, well, first of all, I suppose where you said you get a lot of deals organically.
Yeah.
Then I suppose where are you getting a lot of them from? Is it from, sellers coming direct to you, working with other soldiers? How do you get a lot of the deals?
Well, that's the secret.
That's the secret. I don't need the secret sauce, but
Give them the ingredients.
I need to
aye.
charge $4,000 for this course. Nah, like, to be honest, a lot of it's just through the network and the
Ah.
reputation. Like, a lot of the time we do co-sourcing.
right.
So
Right.
it's like, if they know we can sell the deals quite easy, we're easy to deal with, it's a good buyer at the other end of it, then people will maybe come to us with a deal. Or the same way, like estate agents as well. Once you sell one off market through an
Yeah.
estate agent, then they go, oh, well, that was quite an easy exit, easy to deal with.
Yeah.
And I think speed as well is key. Because
Yeah,
if you can get
definitely.
these shifted quick,
Yeah.
rather than like sitting there and try to sell off market, like the full point of a quick sale under market value is the speed,
Yeah.
So getting that and getting the offer in straight away and
Yeah.
easy to deal with,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's definitely key in what you guys are doing, because let's be honest, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people doing every strategy, but there's a lot of people doing it not so great. If you can rise above that, let's be honest, a lot of people go into the courses and they come out and they've got no cash and they go, right, I'll go into sourcing, right?
Yeah.
But unless let's be honest, we all need to start from the start of the ground bottom in any job, but
Yep.
unless what you guys have got, you even said about why you're using yourself in terms of the ads, you've got older, credible, reputable, that type
Yeah,
of thing,
okay.
then you've got just had to get that in there.
Yeah,
just
that's twice
just had to
you
make
said
it
that.
feel better there. But you've hit the nail on the head. It is all reputation, because let's be honest, somebody that comes out off a back of a course and they decide to source, unless they've got what you guys have got, then why would you take a deal off them? Do you want to take them off take a deal off the guys who are speed, credible?
Yep.
aye.
Yeah.
But we were like that at the start as well.
Yeah.
We were the
Yeah.
person straight out of a course,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had to work with other people that were maybe further on, and like I always say to people when they first get started, they say like, "What do I do? Do I go find my preferred investor, or do I go find the deals first?" I'd always say, "Well, if it's a good deal, you can always sell it through like
You
somebody
find
like myself, like us, or
Yeah.
whoever." And it also teaches you to know how to actually find the deals.
Yeah.
And then once people see you doing the deals, investors will then come.
Yeah.
That's what I would normally do anyway. So.
Aye. What's your opinion on that you're saying about deals? Because again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it's only my personal view, and we'll express our personal view, but I think there's deals, everywhere, right? I mean, there's we'll go out here and walk along the street and there'll be several empty properties in the same street, there'll be several run down properties, etc., right?
Yep.
Sometimes what stops people maybe is sometimes the barriers to entry. But I mean, you speak to a lot of some other property guys and they say, "Oh, deals are hard to come by." How do you guys find the market where you're getting deals from? Try to sell these on. What's your kind of opinion on,
How
try to
difficult
find
it
off
is.
market
It
deals?
definitely depends on the deal itself. I mean, it depends where it is and what you can do with it. I mean, we get deals sent to us. We look at them and like maybe from other sources and stuff. So they'll send us, this is the deal, and then we'll break it down. We'll look at the numbers that they've gave us, and we'll go, no, your numbers are miles out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we've got to look at those numbers and go back to them and go, your numbers aren't right,
Yeah.
and we've had
Or maybe the other right, it just doesn't stack as
It just
a deal
doesn't
for
stack as
who's
a
Yeah.
gonna
for
buy
what
it.
Yeah.
for what they think is a good deal.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, lately we've been our networking's growing as well, which is good,
Right.
and it's changing. Our kind of networking is changing. We're
Yeah.
meeting different people. They're kind of more high end people.
Right.
I think that's the progress you make. I think.
Yeah.
And there's they're sending deals and stuff like that as well.
It's just
And
that network, eh?
It's the network's so important, you
Yeah.
know.
I agree.
So you go to one network and you go, I know somebody who does this or the next thing.
Yeah.
You get in touch with them, and then somebody has another networking event, and you go to them, and you're meeting totally different new people who are way up the scale and buying, you know, and
Makes you feel like you're like, woof, like
Aye.
I'm
You're
playing a
still at the
small
beginning.
game here,
and
right?
then you chat to them, go, right, so how did you do it and what you doing now? And then you realise it's not just one business, they've got other businesses as well,
Yeah.
you know, and it's contacts, and then you get to know them, and you get their number, and then they're sending stuff as well. So it's the network's changing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's getting a wee bit higher all the time.
Yeah,
You
it's just-
feel that, don't
you
you?
meet someone off the back of someone else and stuff, eh?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, see what you were saying there about like, is there deals out there and people are saying there's no deals, and I thought that at the start as well. We thought that like it's like, oh, like how's people doing this? Like you maybe see people are 2 years, 3 years down the line that's maybe came out the course, and you're like, where are they getting all these deals? But now how you see it is like, or how we see it is there's plenty of deals out there. It's just like getting the good ones, you know.
Yeah.
And there is loads of deals like floating about, and there always will be. It's just position yourself the right place to actually get them, and then knowing what a good deal looks like, how to structure it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's probably deals that we seen the first couple of months when we were starting out, and we went, oh, there's nothing we can do it. But now I can go, well, actually I've got a buyer that might actually take that because they're maybe a builder, they can cut down their cost a bit with the refurb,
Yeah.
and that suits their strategy. So it's also knowing what the investor's looking for,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
because then you know, well, that suits them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I totally agree with you. I think a lot of people, let's be honest, there is no doubt, you know, buying something at a discount is seriously helps.
Yeah.
But sometimes no always the end of the world, because like, as you said, depends on what the investors, you know, looking for. There was one I bought last year and I actually went the opposite, and I paid quite a bit into the home report because it's going to cash flow a substantial amount per month
Yeah.
for a serviced accommodation. So I went, you know what, see that extra I paid in the home report, I'm going to have that money back 4 months anyway. So
Yeah.
it's not always the be all and end all. As you say, I think you just sometimes is opening your eyes and going, you know what I mean? One of the things, you know, I certainly took for Ian Briley, see when he's talking about rinse the asset.
Yeah.
You know,
Sweat the
aye, sweat the asset, aye.
Mhm.
You know, when you look at something and you go, hold on, it's just a house with a purchase price, but as you say, you guys will know more than me because you know that's your world, but you start opening your eyes and going, well, what's the different strategy I could sell to this investor or myself or whatever it may be.
Yep, exactly,
Sometimes more than four walls and a
I know.
purchase price.
There's many options. I mean, if you're putting something into the group, and if you're not in the group, you need to contact us. We'll put you in the group.
We'll put
All your socials out anyway.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if you're putting something into the group, we'll look at the buy-to-let aspects of it and what you're making and what the rent is. And then we'll also look at the SA aspects of it. And obviously, you know, if it works great as an SA and you're getting your money back quicker, you can advertise that as that in the group. But yeah, you've got to look at every option, you know, and can you make money? Can you add value with an extension or, you know, anything like that?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's loads of different exits.
Well, for example, right, we had one. Someone came to us. They were like moving abroad and they had a property, but they only bought it like a year ago. So you know we can't really get a deal on it. But we were like, well, you're obviously moving abroad. You need to sell your house, but it didn't have time to put it on the market. I was like, well, why don't you keep your house? We'll rent it from you, and then we'll rent it out on Airbnb. It's like a rent to SA.
Yeah.
You know, so like years ago, we wouldn't have even known that as a strategy.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, sometimes I don't think it's a great strategy. Like we've had ones that's actually not worked out amazing. But if you get the rent the right price and you know your numbers and it's a good area, like like we didn't even have to buy the property to do a deal out the back end, you know.
It was a
That's
cheap
right.
refurb as well,
Aye.
$30,000.
So it's just knowing the different exits and then offering a solution to the guy
To
who
the
owns the
problem.
property.
Yeah.
Aye,
Yeah.
aye.
Yep. We had that running fantastically. Yeah, it was
Aye.
contractors in Grangemouth,
Wow.
and it was fully booked all the time.
All the time.
2-bedroom house, and then he phoned us again and
It's moving back to Scotland.
he's moving back to Scotland.
Oh my
He says, I have
goodness.
to move back to Scotland. We're like, it's fully booked. You know, so but we had a contract with him, so he let us run the contract. It was
Right.
a 6-month contract,
Right.
and then
Gave him it back.
gave him it back, and he bought the furniture off us as well. That was already in the place. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Aye,
so-
a nice refurbed house for him to go back.
Aye.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that worked out both ends, doesn't
Aye.
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Sometimes you
Brilliant.
can't win them all, you know. Like,
That's it.
we done all right when we had it, and
Yeah,
he's
we
done all
saved
right.
money on the furniture, eh?
Aye.
You know, the two is just done it ourselves, sourced
Yeah.
it through Facebook Marketplace, and I think we done it for about $2,000.
Wow.
Furnished it for $2,000. And it was
Brilliant.
lovely.
I think that's a really important point to note because I think a lot of the time is like That's a just get off your arse and get shit done sort of mentality, right? Whereas I think a lot of the time when you watch a lot of these sort of property things on, you know, the internet, right? It's like, well, hold on, you'll never need to get your hands dirty because we are professionals.
Aye.
We'll get our team of people to do that, right? And like, shut up, we are the team.
That's
You
exactly
know, we are the
Aye.
team. You know, you know, we need to, you're the ones that need to go and get the hands dirty. Whereas that is really what goes on
Yeah, I know.
behind the scenes, because especially say when you start, you've not got money to go and
Yeah, I
just
know.
go and get a paint and decorator. You need to get to B&Q, get a tin of paint and go and paint it yourself.
Oh,
You know?
remember it. Flashbacks there. Flashbacks.
Well, we were away fitting blinds last weekend in an SA, you know,
Yeah.
because it was cheaper to do that than pay
Yeah.
a company to come and
Yeah.
fit them and stuff.
I know.
That's right.
No, I remember I seen one of your social media posts quite a while ago, and I think it was, I can't remember exactly what you were doing. But I think it was a heating system or something like that. I remember you driving somewhere, it was a
Right.
heating control module or something. I can't remember what you were doing, but
Aye.
it was something along those lines of, listen, we've not got time to go and get a contractor. Time's of the
Yeah.
essence. I know how to do it. I'm just going to go and do it myself.
I think
Yeah.
that was that one we were just talking about.
Was
the-
it?
the right
Grangemouth,
to SA.
Grangemouth
by
one.
it was a special smart one that you put into let properties and stuff like that, you know, that sort of thing.
That
But, aye.
tells you how many deals that you guys have done, because you've said it and you've said it. You're trying to think, what property was that one again?
I know.
That's a good
Aye.
position to be in. Me, like, what one was that again?
Either that's just bad memory.
That's usually me.
I'll give you the benefit now of the first one.
I know, that's it. But we try to keep everything like systemised and like we use like Trello, like
Yeah.
it's probably the most
Yeah.
basic CRM you can get,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it works. It's simple, you know. Andrew's got us onto something else now, which is a bit more high tech. So
Is it?
Right.
just getting used to that as well.
Right.
But you've got to have everything's got to be organised. You know, you've got a place to find something that's got to be there.
Yeah.
You're good at that.
I think that's my background with being in the prison and stuff like that, you know.
Structured.
Structured,
Yeah.
you know. So, like, we've got a Trello set up, and then if you go into, say, one of our addresses, everything's in there, the insurance, the licence, whatever else, you know, and it's easy to find.
Yeah.
But it's got to be that way. You've got to be, you know.
I wouldn't be like that if I couldn't do that stuff. I'm
Captain
just,
Carnage.
I mean, you'll say to me, you'll pull me up now and again, and say, have we done this? Have we done that? And we keep yourselves
Yeah.
accountable, and that's how it's got to be,
Aye.
you know.
I mean,
So-
mine's is just look at my diary. What have I got to do today? And then I've just checked through my WhatsApp, so I need to get back to him. You know, it's
Yeah.
that's pretty much my day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
You're a
think-
bit more organised.
Aye, I think we spoke about this not that long ago, right? Is I think it doesn't matter if you get the fancy high tech system, or for me, I just like a pen and bit of paper and it's on my clipboard there, right? And
Yeah.
just score it off with a highlighter. You know, I don't think there's a lot of people try to show I've got this big fancy thing. See, as long as you've got something to hold yourself
need-
account,
aye,
whether
you
it's
need something.
each other verbally or just
You're right.
something.
Yeah.
Because if not, your mind just goes in that loop, and then you do end up, as you say, at
Aye.
4 o'clock in the morning, you're like, shit, I've got that to do, I've got
know.
that to do, that to do.
That's
Just
right.
get it somewhere.
Aye,
Whatever
I know.
works for you.
Aye.
You know?
It does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aye.
Because I've seen your list on your phone. You write things in your notes.
Aye.
I'm old school. I've got my diary. So I say,
Yeah.
right, Monday, this is what I'm doing. Tuesday, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then you know yourself, you're sitting watching telly, 10 o'clock at night, you go, right, I've got to do it. And then you run through your office where you work,
Yeah.
write it in your diary, and you come back and your wife's going, was that something you forgot? Aye,
Yeah.
it's written in my diary now, but
Or you end up just doing it there and then.
I do
Yeah.
it there
2
and
hours
then,
later, you come
Aye.
back. Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's something you just mentioned your wife. That's something I was going to ask there. How does so obviously you guys are obviously working together, father and son. Does
No,
it
we're brothers.
brothers? Sorry,
Someone said that to him. He's not letting it go yet, you know.
I don't know who that
Yeah,
who
banging on
that
about it.
benefits.
Got it now and again.
The compliment.
But is there ever a point where there's too much property business in the household, or is your wife, your mum, quite supportive of the? Because see, when you came out of the prison service
Aye.
and you retired, were you meant to like retire in like proper retirement, like, or did you plan?
No, I wouldn't be. I'm
You're
not the
not
guy
retired.
I'm not the guy to just do nothing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that drives my wife's nuts sometimes because I don't, you know. But I was always going to do something. But the way I came out of the prison service was like I got a couple of jobs, but because you know you work a certain way in a prison service, see coming out and doing a couple of jobs, they're just, you know, I couldn't settle down.
Yeah.
You know, they were coming out. My
It's a
first
big
job
adjustment, isn't it?
Aye, it's a big adjustment. The first job was Maths and St Bakers. I was the training manager,
Right.
and they were going on about, oh, you know, we're running out of oil. I'm thinking, so what? What's the big deal here? I couldn't, you know, that's a big deal in their world.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't a big deal in the world
Yeah.
I just sort of came from.
Yeah.
So it's just that being I had to adapt and stuff. But it's just
Aye, I mean, what you're saying there about the family thing as well.
it's-
Like we've got like a family group chat, and like Jen, my missus, she's in it as well. And
girlfriend, your fiance, your
she always says that.
Oh, you better get that correctly before she pulls you up for
Aye,
it.
exactly. Aye. She might hear this.
I know. But and we were chatting because she was editing videos for that my dad had done last night, and Christine, she was like, "Oh, come on, this is a family chat, no a work chat." So
Chris is my wife.
Right,
aye,
okay.
you know. So it was
Right.
in the family chat, and
Aye.
Chris is going, start a work chat if you're doing this. This is for nice things, talking about fluffy kittens and stuff.
going out for dinners and stuff, you
Going
know.
out for dinners, you know. And you went, what was it you said?
I was like, "Oh, well, this work pays for the dinners."
aye, aye.
Which is true.
Aye, you know, it's funny you say it because I've got this mentality, right, is that if, just in my world, if somebody wants something from the business, right, as in like I'm going to go out for dinner and that's where my wages come from, right, you've got to put something into the business.
Yeah.
So see where that's like, you want to help me doing some invoicing, or the kids, and they've got, you know, my kids are young, they're just 5 and 4 and 5. And whether it's all right, you want me to go out and buy your toilet, it's fine, but you need to get the paintbrush out, right? If you want if you want something from the business, you've got to put something in the business.
Aye,
Yeah.
Because
aye.
you said they're on, you sometimes end up, I'm only saying from a selfish point of view, because if not, you're, at the early days, you're doing every role.
Aye.
Every role, you know, you need some form of help. So if that's the help I'm getting, then
Yep.
You'll take it.
I'm helping you out in return, taking you out for dinner.
Aye.
So
Aye.
I know.
you need something
Aye.
in
But
return.
it's that freedom as well, though. It's good to have that freedom. You
Oh.
know what I mean? It's you know, you're making that money, or you hope anyway, and then you say, right, okay, let's reward ourselves with
Yeah.
Yeah.
something. You know, that's why we do it, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. You don't
You
you
know.
don't put yourself through the hell of running a business not to
No.
get a
No.
not to get a reward out at the
No, definitely.
at the end of the day.
No.
Yeah.
And we have nights together. Like, I've got a pizza oven, so we like make pizzas and stuff out the back and all that
Right.
stuff. But we say like no word chat. It's just, you know, we just chat. It's just
Yeah.
you know.
Sometimes that
It
doesn't
creeps
happen.
in.
Yeah.
I think it is the
look.
type of business though that it does consume you, doesn't it? Because like you say, you can be sitting watching the television at 10 o'clock at night and go, my God, I've meant to have gotten back to that person, or I must remember to do that, or phone
Aye.
the accountants in the morning, or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
I know.
These things just come to you. So you do get to a point that it just completely takes over your life. So if you don't have that time that you can just cut off and go like
Aye.
into relaxed mode,
Yep.
you,
Yep. I know.
I think you'd soon get to that burnout stage.
Yeah, I think it's because I think building a property business is quite a difficult one to scale, because like if you guys are sourcing a deal, right, I'm buying the deal for you two guys because I've bought into you, and
brand
I love the
almost,
brand,
aye.
the personal brand, the
Yeah.
positivity, the way you guys are connecting with each other. But if you were to say to me tomorrow, right, well, I've just employed 10 staff and all right, I'll get wee Jimmy to call you, right? I don't know if I would be invested as much, and that's why I think there's a lot of people in, especially in the estate agents world now. Let's be honest, you know, you would have never dealt with an independent estate agent before. Now you don't really want to deal with the big big players.
I'd
you know,
rather deal with
so
independent.
aye,
yeah.
so in this property world, regardless of kind of what strategy you're doing, there's a lot more, you know, like you guys, you know, smaller operations but done really, really, really well. And I think that's why it does end up consuming you, because
Yeah.
you end up becoming the
hard
business
yes,
and the brand
I
and
know.
everything.
Yep.
As I said, if you were to employ somebody and you take the night off, I'd still want to deal with you.
Aye.
It's tricky, isn't it?
I think as well, like if we brought in more like staff and stuff, it would be like maybe like a commission based thing
Yeah.
where they kind of work under the brand, but they get to go out, find their own deals,
Yeah.
sell them kind of through the Anderson kind of brand.
Yeah,
but
through your network kind of thing, yeah.
rather than like the kind of UK estate agency model where it's like somebody deals with the seller, somebody deals with the buyer, and it's
Yeah.
like here's the negotiator, here's the viewing agent. It's like,
Yeah.
but if
Yeah.
you look at other countries, how the actual estate agents do it, it's just one person. They're almost like self-employed,
Yeah.
and they'll go out do their own viewings. They're dealing with the seller and the buyer, and they're
Yeah.
brokering the actual deal.
Yeah.
It's only really the UK, I think, that doesn't do it that way. You
Yeah.
know, and I prefer the other way. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you're more hands-on.
Aye. I
Well,
think
you're more hands-on and you've got one person to deal with. I think that the harder thing is the amount of people that you've got to deal with in the UK. With your lenders, you've got two different sets of lawyers. You've got
Yeah.
the seller maybe.
Yep.
Um, your investor, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. So it's a lot of people you're trying to keep happy on
Yep.
one specific deal.
I know.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
know?
I know.
Yeah.
If we go into like estate agents and try and build that relationship, we try and get their mobile number, so you're
Right.
dealing with that one person.
Right.
Again,
Yeah.
and I'm finding like I'm on TikTok a lot, so I don't know if you've seen the videos, but if I'm out a dog walk, I'll make a wee video and I'll put it on TikTok or whatever
Yeah.
it is. But I'm now messaging a lot of people on TikTok, but it's estate agents and stuff, and I'm getting a really good response because they put their wee videos out, they put their wee messages out and stuff like that, and you can go direct to them.
Right,
Right,
okay.
okay.
You know? So yeah, it's quite good.
Aye,
for
like kind of
getting to know
bypassing the
people.
brand and
Aye.
getting straight to the
you'd
source.
rather than going into the shop, you're going, listen, that's a nice property you've got there.
Yeah.
Listen, would you like a chat and stuff?
Yeah.
And it's that one person.
Yeah.
Like a personal
Eh,
approach. Eh?
That is.
Yeah.
Aye.
I mean,
you know.
You know yourself, like sales, it's not trying to sell someone, it's building that relationship, and they almost want to feel like they're buying with you rather than
Yeah.
buying from you.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to build it up with the estate agents, you're not just going around and speaking to everyone in the office. Get friendly with one person who works here,
Yeah.
Exactly. Aye.
you know,
Yeah.
and build that relationship with them,
Yeah.
and then they'll start liking you and stuff, and then you start doing the deals. It's not just
Yeah.
we're a property developer, we want all your off markets, you know. It's
Yeah.
become
I
friends
know.
with them first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's where you've said the traditional estate agency model is I agree it's not working,
Mm.
right? Because if you contact the high street traditionals just now, the only thing they're going to talk to you about really is the price, right? That's the address, that's the price you want a viewing, right?
Aye.
And you talk about price, what ends up happening, you end up negotiating price, right?
I know.
And then you're just depleting your margin. You're spending 99% of your time building rapport with me, you hit me with the price.
Yeah. Yep. I know.
Then the price shouldn't be an objection. I'm almost obliged to take it at the price you're
Aye,
telling me.
I know.
I'll be too embarrassed to
Yep.
to try and negotiate with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, sometimes we'll look at a property on even Rightmove and stuff like that, and we'll go and do the viewing. We don't want the property, but we want to get to know the people who are showing us round
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, and it's that's how you get your foot in the door. That's how
Yeah.
we kind of look at it anyway. You know,
Yeah.
the house, we're not interested in the house, but we're interested in that connection,
Yeah.
and that's what
It's
we
not
do.
always just a viewing, you know. It's what it can lead to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Without being too much a tire kicker as well, though. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aye.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Because you do, you don't want to come across that way that you're just
like wasting time. Aye.
Yeah,
you're a time
yeah,
waster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's when you meet them, you get that conversation going, like, I like this, but I'm not sure if it's for me. Is there anything else you've got? And, you
Yeah.
know, well,
Yeah.
maybe get this, maybe get that, or there's something coming up. Yeah, it's
It's amazing though when you just start asking those questions where
Where it
things can lead to.
Aye, I know.
We had a guy up in Lossiemouth that was looking at a property, and I called him and I said, "How'd you get on?" He went, "I need to call you back later. I'm at the third viewing." I said, "What do you mean the third viewing?" He says, "I thought you were only going to view that one." He went, "Oh, I know, but I met the guy and I started, telling him what we're looking
Aye,
for, etc. And he
yep.
went, "Oh, I think I've got a better one for you."
Aye.
Next thing he's in the car with the estate agent and he's
Aye.
driving around half of Lossiemouth. But
Yep.
if you don't just open your mouth and speak,
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
then
That's it.
you don't know where things are going to
Yep.
Aye.
lead
I
to.
know.
Let's be honest, none of us would be sitting in this room talking to each other just now if
We
I
haven't
know.
opened our mouths
Aye,
and spoken.
exactly. That's it. It's
You know?
that comfort zone thing, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
it's just like, I mean, the early days, it was the hard part was just opening an estate agent doors, just going through those doors.
Yeah.
Aye, what
But,
we're going to say to them,
what you
like,
gonna
we
say,
don't
yeah.
have any properties,
Yeah,
we've never sold
I
a deal
know.
in our life. Like,
Yeah.
We're looking for really cheap discount properties. What can you give us? You know,
so you'd gone in and
Yeah.
You can see steam coming out the ears right there and then,
Oh,
can't you?
I
Because
know,
they're just
I
some of
know.
them are so
Another one just off the
unhelpful.
property course, not with the door.
You know, Paul McFadden. But yeah, I mean, over time you just learn. You're just going in there as somebody who wants to buy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Build
what was
a
that one?
relationship.
Yeah, what was that one? Was it Coatbridge? There was one in Coatbridge, and we got to know them really well. And they kept talking about the cakes round the corner and stuff like that. So one day we took one of the domino cake. That's what it was.
Right.
Yeah. So we took a domino cake in, and just building that relationship
Yeah.
up with them.
That's
So,
right.
that
Showing
wasn't
that
a
you've been
bad
listening and you care. It's not just transactional then, isn't it? It's more,
Aye.
the relationship could go further and it could work well for both of
Yeah.
us. So,
Yep. I know.
why do you not just do it?
Yeah.
Aye.
Exactly.
Nah, it's just about building relationships, this property stuff, It's just your network, just like being a good middleman as well sometimes, because
Yeah.
you know, you could have a relationship with an agent and then an investor, and you're just meeting them up, really, you know.
That's right.
So,
Sounds like you guys are spinning a lot of plates.
There's always we're always trying to think, what else can we do that's differently? Who can we speak to? You know, where do those guys get that kind of property from and stuff like, you know, like speaking to insolvency people, you know, just trying to get your foot in the door with these people, and you know, just anybody really. Who deals with property? Who, like, you even got your, was it the postman?
No, it was like you know, your leaflet drop guys.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
paid someone to go and do leaflet drops for us, and obviously it was like, we'll buy your house quick. So obviously knew what we do. I was like, well, if you're out and about, if you'll obviously see a lot of properties. You see an empty one, take a photo, send me the address, and you know, anyone, you'll get a referral fee if you buy it.
look
So
after
Yeah.
and he had a team of guys, so he had like a couple of guys working
Oh,
for him.
wow.
So they were going out doing leaflet drops, and anyone they were sent to him, he'd pass on to us, and it was free leads almost, you know. So
Wow.
Yeah. It's actually incredible, because I had that same thought just yesterday driving into my estate, because there's a friend that we have that does leaflet drops, who has people who are out doing the leaflets for them. And I actually thought about, they must be passing houses that they can look at and think there's a possibility there.
I know,
You know?
absolutely.
Aye.
I mean, we're still doing them. I was out 3 weeks ago doing leaflet drops. You know, I just say a couple hours a week or something. I just pick a spot and just,
Aye.
you know,
Yeah.
headphones on and just go out and do it.
there's going to be a lot of rich postmen after this podcast.
I know. But I mean, obviously, like we've always said, if people bring us properties, we'll give them a referral for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a win-win situation, isn't it?
That's
Like
right.
what you said, you're still out there, like putting leaflets out ourselves, you know. It's like
Yeah.
still trying every strategy, like
Yeah.
because some days are like hectic, some days are a bit quieter as well. So you're like, well, what can we get up to? Let's go out there.
Fill that time in, eh?
Yeah.
Get
What
busy.
can we get up to? That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
aye, I know. You've always got to think, right, what can we do? Who can we speak to? Who deals with this? Who deals with that?
Well, it's anything
You
to
know.
move you forward, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What platforms can we use?
If
You
you're
know what I
sitting
mean?
still, you're not doing anything really, are you?
That's it. You know, you've
You're
always
you're
got
going
to,
nowhere.
You know, yeah,
You may as
that's
well
how
just
you
get
go.
out there and
Aye.
Yeah, do
get
something,
stuff done.
You know.
Aye.
Absolutely.
And where can you advertise? Who can you ask? And you know, there's an app called Nextdoor. I think every region's got it, haven't they? Just a wee app. It's just a wee local thing,
Right.
and it's people looking for a joiner for this, and can somebody cut my grass? And I just throw an advert. Well, not an advert, but it's just a couple of lines in. But
Yeah.
they look to sell the property.
Yeah.
We can give you £1,000 and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and there's always somebody
Yeah.
reaches out with something.
Aye.
You know.
That's
So
kinda
there's always somebody calling you a parasite or something, you know.
Aye.
At the same time,
Aye,
you
I
know.
was actually going to ask you that, because from what I've seen, you guys, you know, really positive, really come across really well on social media. Have you had any negativity on social media or anywhere at all?
It's not too bad.
Any
though, is it?
criticism?
It's
You know.
mostly people like it's not so much the investor side, it's more the like buy your house quick kind of thing, you know. It's
Right.
more
Yeah.
like, oh, look at these more landlords, that's the last thing we need and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
they don't actually realise that you do need them.
We are needed.
I know.
Yeah.
They
I
just
know.
don't,
Absolutely
they just
needed.
don't know like
Yep.
how it really works sometimes, you know. So
I know.
sometimes you can't blame these people for
Yeah.
maybe not knowing that, you know. So
I know.
Yeah, it's just lack information on their part,
is,
really, isn't
aye.
it? And you can't blame them on that.
They don't realise that you've got to take a mortgage out, and that rent has got to cover your mortgage at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And your Lamborghini. They just don't understand these things. Do they? You know? But yeah, it's
That's going to do really well on social media. That is going right on TikTok this afternoon.
but it's just one of these things, you know.
brilliant.
It's just, and you know, you'll always get keyboard warriors. That's
Oh.
the thing. You'll always get
Aye.
it, you know, and it's how you deal with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
you could be there all day though, like
could.
I know.
replying back and forth, and it's like,
I
to be
know,
honest, we
it's
don't-
just, what's the point? It's
yeah.
just wasting time, isn't it? You're not going to change their minds. So
You're not.
As well just,
You're not.
Aye.
it's good
You'd
for
as
the
well just
algorithm,
leave
that's
them.
about it.
Mate, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
That is exactly why I don't reply to them all and don't go into battle, but it's exactly why. It's even last night, I was just sitting 5 minutes in the kitchen, right? It's like back to you, you know, where's your wee pots of doing things, you know? I thought, right, social media, 5 minutes, just went on, there was a couple of comments and they replied to, right? 2 or 3 weeks ago, I thought I'm going to go and start liking them, replying, bang, there's the algorithm spinning again.
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, but
Yep.
that you're right.
Aye.
That's the way you need to think. But it's funny because it's always the ones who get comment or like I don't know. You've seen TikTok. It's always like user 25847, right?
Aye, no profile.
No
photo.
profile
No
picture,
profile.
Aye,
right?
it's just a bot.
Aye, exactly. But and they seem to be the ones with the highest opinion. But like like you were saying with the landlord, I had one a couple of weeks ago, and it was. I can't exactly what it was off the back of it, but it was basically one of the ones are you landlords and profiteering and all that, right? I don't usually bite back as much detail, but I thought I'm just going to educate you a wee bit. So I actually put one up, right? Just a buy to let I've got.
Yeah.
I literally put everything rent, mortgage, etc. Show where it cash flowed, right? Peanuts, right? Let's be honest, we all know if you want to live off a buy to let portfolio,
I
you
know.
need a big portfolio,
Yeah.
right?
You need a lot.
So
Aye.
it's peanuts, right? And she replied back and said, even though it's peanuts, you're profiteering, right? But see, these people do not realise, see, even let's say you made like cash flow 200 quid a month, for talk's sake, right? That's 2,200 quid a year, right? That's required. Because what if the boiler packs in? Your
Yeah.
duty as a landlord
Yep.
is to provide.
And that's just covering the boiler.
Aye, that's just
Yeah.
covering the boiler, aye. Your duty as a landlord is to provide the best standard of accommodation for the tenant that's in there, right?
Yep.
So how can you do that if you're not making any profit? To be in business, to be in profit. Profit is not a dirty word.
Yeah.
But the thing I think is funny is the same people who question us in business are the same people who will go to Tesco and buy a, don't know, £2 bottle of Iron Brew that costs 3 pence to make. Nobody's at
Aye.
the Tesco till saying, by
Aye,
the
I
way,
know.
you're making 12,000% markup this year or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
but for
Aye.
anybody that wants to comment my TikTok and say that wasn't exactly 12,000%, do you know what I mean? And the
I know.
algorithm spins a minute, that was just off the top of my head, you know. But you know the point I'm trying to make
No,
here.
you're right. Aye,
But,
I know.
you
I
know, no,
Then
they
you
don't
look at the
question
profile,
that.
It's just pictures of cats.
Aye.
You know, no comments. Nobody wants to speak to them. It's just cats.
know.
You know, so they need to get out of the house. a
I
bit
know.
more,
I always
you know,
think it's,
so-
I always picture that guy in the house is most definitely like in the pure, 12 Domino's pizza boxes all stacked
Aye,
up
I
there.
know.
5
Mum's making my
computers.
pot noodle now and again.
Exactly.
You know,
5 computer screens in the room up to 6 o'clock in the morning. You can just picture them.
Aye, I know.
But-
Aye,
It's
I know.
other things as well,
Oh,
like
dear.
you're paying your ADS.
Yeah.
You know, for every 100 grand, there's
Yeah.
8 grand getting put back into the government.
I
That's
know.
right.
They don't see these things, and
I
that
know.
8 grand's probably more than what you'll make on that property in that year.
Oh,
So
That's
easily.
again, it's pointless even answering them because you're just never going to change their mind, and they
No.
just
I know.
don't. They just don't get it at all. They only
I know.
see it through their own tunnel vision. So
know.
Exactly. It's
Um,
like flat earthers. You just, you just don't argue with them. You know, you'll never change their minds. Oh, you know.
oh dear, that's too
Aye.
funny.
brilliant.
Flat
I mean,
earthers.
talking about ADS, like our latest one, the one in Edinburgh, that was we've just bought one in Edinburgh.
Right.
It's a basement flat across the road from the Playhouse.
Right.
Wow.
So it's a joint venture with somebody. So that was brought to us, and then we're looking at it's a one bedroom basement flat, but it's in the new town. Sorry.
Right.
Right.
So the building's something like 1780 or something. It was
Wow.
built.
Oh my darling.
I love that.
So that's the latest one. So we're going to be doing a refurb. That's a joint venture we're doing with somebody, and that's going to be an Airbnb.
Right.
Whoa. I don't want Edinburgh Council to be listening to this.
I know.
And we're behind
Lads,
the
slow
keyboard.
down.
The keyboard sitting obvious, you know. Aye. It's on the market shortly.
Yeah.
You know. But
Oh, that'll
Aye.
do extremely well. And also
Aye,
it's the
that's-
location. It's like
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, we're just going through all the wee bits and pieces. It was in a fire, so obviously you're taking the walls off and repaneling them and stuff like that. But at that point now, we go, right, we were having a chat in the group chat this morning. And it's like, is it gold taps and do we hide
finishings and
the
stuff.
finishing
Yeah.
and stuff that But yeah, I mean, we're really looking forward to getting that up and
Yeah.
going. And to say we'll just miss the festival period.
That's right.
Because if we were hitting the festival period, obviously,
It'd been
Name your
perfect.
nightly rate.
Aye.
exactly, aye. And the position of it itself is fantastic. So, but it'll be done for Christmas.
Aye.
And Edinburgh at Christmas time is going to be busy as well.
Yeah.
So, aye. But really look forward to it. But that was a joint venture. So we've found the property. Somebody else has come in with their cash.
Right.
We've got a good relationship with these guys, and they're just funding everything. But obviously, when we start generating cash flow, that's 50-50.
Yeah, I was just going to
You
say
know,
to you, you're
so,
running it as an SE, as a
Yeah.
joint venture as well.
Yeah, yep.
Aye.
So, and we'll hold on to that asset, and it's silly money where it is. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? Silly money. So, but it encourages you to say, right, okay, what else is in that area?
Yeah.
Who can we speak to?
Who
to
ca-
try and get
Where
another
can we
one.
go now?
You know,
But
You'll be
wasn't
able to cash in a second retirement off of the appreciation
I know,
in
I know.
the city centre in Edinburgh.
I'll be retired now.
I know.
Definitely employing staff at this point.
Yeah.
I know it's, you know, so, but you pick your areas, don't you? And we were lucky with that one.
Aye, it wasn't even an area we ever considered like city centre Edinburgh.
No.
Like you don't really think, oh, I'm going to focus on finding deals there. But
Yeah.
now we're like, right, can we get more of these? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you see how the potential on them, even with the high price point, it still returns you well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what we're saying. The stamp on that was just over 19 grand,
Aye, so
for that one. So,
aye, so there's us putting back into the government again. You know,
That's
so,
right.
I know.
Exactly.
aye.
Exactly. I think that's what a lot of people they forget. It's the amount of money that we're putting back in. Let's be honest. We retain very little compared to what actually goes back in
Yeah.
between, you know, interest in the mortgage, stamp duty,
Aye.
corporation tax, and the
Yep.
bottom line.
Yep.
You know, most of it does go back in.
Yeah.
They'd be
I
better
know.
having a go at the government and asking actually what they're doing with all that cash that
I
they're
know.
getting back.
I know sometimes I feel, see when you get the comments, I feel it's like, do you going to just contact Keir Starmer and
Yeah.
can moan at him or something
And
like
moan
that?
at
Like,
him instead,
stop
yeah.
moaning at
That's
the,
right.
the wee
You've got
guy,
the
the
wrong
wee
guys.
nobody for Glasgow, nothing.
Just try to make a living, you know, and keep peddling their Lamborghinis. It's definitely not an easy thing.
Better
Charles
team going on
here.
here, eh?
Yeah.
All right, Ferrari, whatever.
Yeah. The thing is,
Drove through in his Peugeot the day as well.
the thing is, I think that's what I do love, and we've said this before, I do love about the property world. I don't know what you guys thought, you know, when you, it'd be interesting what you first thought of what the world was going to be when you entered into it, but I thought it was going to be full of, like, you know, multi-millionaire guys in suits and, you know, a bit about them, but you just hit the nail on the head, like, you know, we're all just normal guys and girls trying to make ends meet and do well for ourselves.
Yeah,
That
I know.
is really just what we're trying to do.
Exactly.
Aye. Even the
That's-
people who's like really successful and at the top, they've all started where maybe like, well, always have started,
Yes.
you know, and they've
Yeah.
been there and they've worked their way up, and it's
Yeah.
kind of who you become
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
that process as well, eh? So
Yeah.
Definitely.
exactly.
it's not all big high investors coming from China buying all your deals and stuff. It's
Yeah.
That's right.
it's your like one of the people who bought a deal off is Mold Boss. You know, it's
Yeah.
just it's so random. It's not none of these big Chinese investors with
Yeah.
£1 million budgets, and you do get them and stuff, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
when you get
Yeah.
lucky and stuff. But it's no like the glitz and glamour big investors that you,
Yeah.
you think,
Exactly.
you know.
We talk about that quite often. That's the one. That's my, like, the bit of fire in my belly. I hate it when I see that on social media. Right? See me, and it's everybody just wants to talk about that part. See me say it's, oh, I'm just off a call for the guy in China and the billionaire sheikh and all that.
Aye.
Right? But you're like, the reality of it is that aye, they are there, but the majority of deals that, you know, you'll be selling to, or the people who are buying, are just normal people. An
Yeah.
investor can be anybody, as you said.
Yep.
We could invest in each other at some point in time, do a joint venture.
Yep.
We're all just working along the way with each other, but
Yep, I know.
apparently that's no sexy to say that on social media.
I know.
You
Thing
know,
is,
so-
it's one thing to have a conversation with an investor in Hong Kong. It's another thing to do business with them.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? You can have a conversation that comes to nothing,
yeah.
that's
but
right.
that conversation will be up on social media.
Yes.
Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? And then you don't know what's happening. Oh, I've not heard from that guy for 6 months. I might be contacting, and he just blanks you. You know,
Yeah,
you've had that one conversation. It's
Yeah.
just never paid
it's
off.
never
You know.
come to anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, but people are always happy to put the happy stuff up.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, and I mean we've put stuff up. It's this is went wrong, and
Aye.
you know, then you get comments coming back going, it's good to see
it's
that.
nice
you
to
know.
see both sides. Yeah,
People
Aye.
prefer to
You
see
know.
that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But even we're guilty for just like putting out the best stuff, like, look, oh, this amazing deal we've done, and
well, you
know,
obviously want to celebrate the wins as well, don't you?
You've
Yeah.
got to promote yourself as
Yeah,
well to a point,
absolutely.
you know. But you know, it gets to that line where you've got to draw and say, right, this is reality, and
Yeah.
you know,
The thing
Tell
is,
them
what-
about some of the trickier parts that you've had to deal with, and at least it makes it more authentic, and people are understanding that they're, you know, it's not all plain sailing every second of the day. So
it's no,
they're almost
absolutely.
coming along that journey with you on social
Yeah.
media and
yeah,
see the highs and the lows, and
that's right.
Yep.
yeah.
it's easy to post about the good times as well, but to be honest, we've got more things to post about with the hard times, you know. It's,
Yeah,
it's
'cause
actually
that's
easier
where
to
your
post
lessons-
about. Aye,
That's
Yeah.
where your lessons are. Absolutely.
aye.
Yep.
I think that is, you've hit the nail on the head. That is the good part about social media. Is
Aye.
it, you know, if you are being true and authentic and genuine, and if you're just taking people on the journey with you, then you know, you feel like you're in it with somebody, because a lot of the time it's a lonely place. I know you guys are working
Yeah,
together,
it's
but
aye, I know.
a lot
I
of the time it's a really lonely place.
know. Yeah,
And a lot of the time the biggest support is strangers.
Aye.
Yeah, I know people that haven't really met you, you know, but they know your journey and stuff like that. You know, I mean, we've been in situations where, you know, it's like the brown stuff's hit the fan, and you know, there's money involved and stuff like that. And then you've got other people who on social media who know you, and they'll jump in, like, you know, maybe there's comments, negative comments in your post or something, and you've got other people who know you who'll jump in and say, listen, you know, these guys are genuine, you know, they're starting out and stuff like that, give them a break. And we've had decent support for things, eh?
Aye, people who know that actually the other side of the story sometimes, you know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's never just one side, is there?
No, there never is, you know, it never is. But you've got to just, every day's different. That's what we find the problem. Every day's that you don't know what you're going to walk into one day,
Yeah.
you know, and who, all of a sudden you'll money to somebody, and, you know, you've got to pay that back to keep your reputation good.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's, we've had a few things, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, but you've got to say, right, what's the best thing for us to make everybody, us come out clean.
Yeah.
Aye. Your
And everybody see
reputation.
that we're
And
doing the right
everybody's
thing, eh?
reputation
Aye.
intact.
Yeah.
Aye,
You
that's
know.
more important than a quick sourcing fee, you know.
Oh,
like,
That's
totally
right.
agree.
you would rather just go, like, here's your, if a deal falls through and
Yeah.
or whatever, like, you've got to protect that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. But don't get me wrong, there's people who you'll never please. They've got that personality.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's the majority of people in the property world, they're first class, brand new, they want to work with you and stuff like that. And but you know, it doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, you'll always get that wee 1%.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just wants to make your life as hard as they can.
You
Yeah.
can't
You know?
please everyone, eh?
Yeah.
So,
Aye.
you know.
That's
You
right.
know, just
Aye.
rise above it. You know.
Aye.
Aye.
You're pleasing the majority, you're doing all right.
Aye, that's the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's good, like we'll all do networking events and,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know, we all come up, oh, how you doing and stuff like that. And, you know, I've seen your videos or how's the project going and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
a nice wee world to be in,
Yeah.
you know, and you see everybody posting and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
been
and-
Yeah.
supportive of
Aye.
everybody. There's nothing worse when it's you know, people being negative or brutal with you. You don't want that. I
Yeah,
mean, you want
I know.
honesty, but you don't want to be feeling like rubbish.
Yeah.
Aye, that's
So
it.
people being supportive and
Yeah.
having your back.
Yeah.
That's the
You want to get up
important
in the
part.
morning and say, right, this is what I'm doing today, and, you know, have a positive outcome at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But reality, it doesn't always work like
Yeah.
that, does it?
Aye.
You know,
And
And
you-
we've
you-
been screwed by builders, we've been screwed by other sourcers. But everybody's got their own wee stories, and
Aye.
their own wee journeys. That's
It's
the
just
thing,
how
though,
you
eh?
react and deal
Yeah.
with the situation, really, eh? And get on with it.
Yep.
Exactly. Because what is if you don't go on with what is the other option? Just batten the hatches down and give up. Like,
Aye, hide in your bedroom.
aye, exactly. But there is no other option. Like
That's
you know,
it,
you
you've
should.
just got to face it and battle on.
Aye.
Aye.
I mean,
Aye.
regardless of what you do, whether you're taking the sort of big risks, and let's be honest, most of the stuff that we do in this world is financial risk.
That
You
is,
know,
aye,
more
I
than
know.
anything. You know, you're
aye.
putting absolutely everything on the line, and a lot of the time, a lot of everybody else's everything.
Aye, I know. Your personal
On-
guarantees, that's your house.
Aye, exactly.
You know,
I
and
know.
you've got somebody at the other end of the phone now. Before you sign this, you do realise your house is at risk here.
Signing all your
Going like,
personal
right, okay, if I
assets.
don't sign it, nothing's going to happen. But if I do sign it, I'm going to get whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's your house that's at risk.
I know.
That's
These
right.
personal guarantees.
I know. I can remember the very first time I signed one. I went to the solicitor and she said to me, "I've known her for a while," and she said, "I'm saying," she says, "You know, read this." She said, "You don't know what you're signing, don't you?" And I went, "Yeah, yeah." And she went, "No, you don't know what you're signing." I went, "Yeah, yeah." And she went, "No, you do know. Literally, they'll come for the clothes in your back,
Aye.
right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, you're right. That is the risk you've got to take. What is your option? Just do nothing and
Aye.
live a mediocre life for the rest of my years on
Aye.
Yeah.
the planet."
I know.
If you don't risk anything, you risk everything, kind of thing, eh? It's,
That's
Yeah.
right.
You've got to take the risks. You know?
That's
Aye.
your thing you've got in your phone.
Oh. No risk, no Ferrari.
Oh, I love that.
Brilliant.
Well, your dad's already got his Lamborghini,
Aye,
apparently.
exactly.
So is that you trying to keep up?
Segway's
Pays
on
it
its
well, that
way, do you
man.
know what I mean? Aye.
Aye.
I know. And I'm going to Turkey next month to buy a fake watch as well. You know what I mean?
But see, where does this world, right? Because you are really positive, really, really driven. But you've came from a world that
So
you
the
were-
darker side.
yeah, you've saw the darker side. So your mentality must have kind of had some kind of, you know, you said coming into this world after that, you're a wee bit more, I can't remember the word you used,
Sceptical.
but skeptical, right?
Aye.
You know what people
Cynical.
say. Aye, cynical.
Cynical.
But you seem way past that now. So there must have been some. Was there any kind of mindset switch at
No.
all? No.
I don't know.
Are any regrets? Like, you know, I wish I'd done this 20 years ago.
Aye, that's definitely property. Aye, 100%. Because it was a different world in property back then as well.
Yeah,
I mean, 20 years ago, you know, if I always think, if say it was 20 years ago, where would I be now?
Oh.
But you can only say that. You know, you've got to live the best life you've got at the time, and
Yeah.
that's how we always look at things.
You can almost, everyone's saying they wish they bought property 20 years ago.
I know.
Yeah.
Aye.
And
And I
by the
was,
way, it's the same people who are saying that, who are
Aye.
telling you, no, property's not a good investment. They're saying,
Aye.
oh, I wish I bought it 20 years
Aye,
ago.
I know.
aye, in 20 years' time, we'll still have no properties. It's like, now's the best time because the regulations are only going to get tighter. It's
Yeah.
going to get worse, but you'll look back and go, well, I bought it at a good time. It might not
Yeah.
seem that now, but
Yeah.
what's going to be like in 20 years' time, you know?
Yeah.
I know.
I know. What's that
Definitely.
thing you keep throwing at me? It's best time to plant a tree.
Yeah.
What is that?
The best time to plant a tree was like, say, 20 years ago, but the second best time is now, you know? It's-
Yeah.
He's good at quotes. See.
I love that.
That's a like podcast. You know what I mean? He keeps throwing these things at me.
No, I love
listen
it.
though. I listen.
No, you're right. You need that, though. You need that mentality. You need to be listening to HB quotes. You need to be listening to all the podcasts and everything because
It's what drives you
oh,
forward.
100%.
Aye, it is. Aye, because you've got to listen to people who have been there, done it, because obviously they're in the position they're in because they've done what they've done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the journey we're trying to all follow, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know, we're trying to be not them, but you want to, you know, you want your own journey, you want your own ending to it, but you
Yeah.
want that ending to be
Learn their
something-
lessons.
something
Yeah.
positive, don't you?
Yeah.
You know.
Something as well, like when I like podcasts, but when I was a spark on the tools, I was in the van all day
Right.
driving about, so I was listening to podcasts. But now I feel like sometimes I kind of miss it a wee bit because
Right.
it's like almost like that's my space to. But now I've no time for that. So
Yeah.
Right.
sometimes I'm like, right, I get to drive to the gym today. I'll get my podcast
Yeah.
on. You know, it's
Yeah.
and it's good for the mindset because
Yeah.
it is quite lonely. Obviously, we
Yeah.
work together, but some days he'll be in his house, I'll be in mine doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And then it gets a bit lonely, and so
Oh,
stuff like
sorry.
pod,
Pick up the phone. I'm always
stuff like podcasts. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it is, aye. It is. It's good to listen to them. Aye.
Yeah.
Having that positivity in your ear all the time, and it's
Aye.
not just positivity. It's like, you know, obviously you have to action stuff, but just having somebody else in your ear giving it a little bit of support and knowing that you can do it, or giving you that wee bit of drive to keep going forward. That's
Yeah.
all you need.
Aye,
Yeah.
that's it.
100%.
I mean, we'll phone each other up. Just, you know, I'm 55. I'm always asking him for advice, and he'll phone me up and go, "Dad, what do you think this? Should we do this?" And you know, our communication's always good, eh?
Good.
You know, we had a wee thing last night. It was quite funny. Like the video we were doing. Part of the video is like you do your forum and you go to the next bit and there's a wee video and stuff. And because it's me, it's doing all the videos and stuff. You know, people are going to get to know me through the videos and whatever else. And I thought, right, okay, you've got to this point in the video. I'm going to tell you a wee joke, right? So I put the joke in the video, right? It was a daffy joke.
Tell us a joke.
The joke was it was stupid, right?
Such
But
a
it was
dad
wee
joke as well.
Aye, it's a wee icebreaker. What do you call a guy that lives at the front of your house? Matt. I even heard the tumbleweed there. So it was a daffy joke, right? And
Dear.
but then obviously it was a quick move on to the sale and all that sort of thing. So Jack's fiance was editing the videos and stuff like that, and Jack went, "I don't know if I like the joke and stuff like that." I said, "Well, I like it, and it's, you know, it's getting people to know my character and stuff like that, you know." So I says, "Well, we'll see what Andrew says," the guy who's doing the ads with us as well. So he loved it as well. So
I got outvoted.
you know. But I mean,
Just bouncing the idea.
it's
So like,
bounced
That's
those
it.
ideas, you know. But but there's many times something will happen, and I'll go, right, okay, we'll just take that out or something. You know, because at the end of the day, you have got a client that you're trying to hit, you
Yeah.
know, and you're trying to hit pain points and stuff like that. And so sometimes things are not appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, you've just got to be careful what you're saying.
it's all the dad jokes.
Yeah.
I've just heard too much of them now. You know?
You're used to it.
Aye,
You've had a
aye.
lifetime of them.
Aye, aye,
fun, though, isn't it?
aye.
Yeah.
But I think we have a lot of fun together. That's the thing, you know. Like we're girlfriends and our wives and stuff like that. We do stuff. We were at New York last Christmas,
Right.
so that was a wee reward that we says, you know, the next 2 deals we sell, we're going to treat the girls to New York.
Just get it booked up. Aye.
Just get it booked up. So we sold the deals, And this was like last June. This was happening, right? So June 2024. So we sold the deals, and Jack and I, behind the scenes, we booked the flights, we booked the hotels, we researched New York.
I think it took us about a week to book this.
You know,
This
the
is when we're at the
finest-
office and we're in there
Aye,
all week.
I know.
Right.
They think we're in there working. We're
Working.
booking
Yeah, you're
holidays.
booking
Yeah.
holidays
Looking
to
at
New
all these
York.
hotels in New York and stuff. Never been to New York before. It was one of these things we always want to do.
Yeah.
Especially at Christmas time, eh? So we've done everything, booked everything to the last wee thing, didn't we? Never missed anything out. And then we had the girls round. Well, we never had, because my wife loves me. You know,
Yeah.
I hope so. Who's your wife?
Jack and his
He's got her in
girlfriend
one of
came
the back
round.
legs.
Don't tell the tax man. You know. So we says, right, we'll have a pizza night and stuff like that. So what we did, we had these wee envelopes made up. You're being invited to New York, these dates, blah, blah, blah. So we're eating pizzas and we give them these envelopes each, and it was such a good feeling that,
Aye.
you know, they were crying and stuff like that. And then, yeah, you were crying. Don't worry. I'll probably deny it watching this. But it was such a good feeling that we had worked to that point. and we
It's
said,
the
right,
rewards, aye.
a
That's
reward,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
I think the word that I picked up on there was that it's got to be fun. I think you do, and that's in anything in any walk of life, no matter what you're working at. If you're not having fun, then it's time to reassess.
Aye, it is.
That's it.
You know, the
So-
day that stops, you've just got to say, right, I'm going
Yeah.
to go fishing or something. You
No,
know,
yeah.
you know,
Clear the head.
can it? You know, you have.
Yeah.
Everything's
There's got to
be
be a fun element.
Aye.
You've got to enjoy what
Yep.
you're doing.
And you've got to have that day broken up as well. I mean, you go to the gym, I go to the gym. You know, you prefer your afternoon, the gym, I prefer first thing in the morning. And that starts your day or it ends
Yeah.
your day, whatever. You need that thing that distracts you. You need that distraction,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
you know. So
Aye,
it's-
I'm
it's-
bad for sometimes not having that, you know, and you just work, and you end up burning out a bit as well,
Yeah.
you know, and you're like, oh, I need a holiday now, you know, and
Yeah.
you get something booked up.
That's right. You need a switch off, definitely.
Yeah.
Or it just becomes more of a chore and a labour, and you know,
It does. It becomes a
you
job.
don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't love it
You know,
anymore.
Aye.
and that's not what we go into this
And that's
game for.
exactly.
You know, it's no.
We
you
work
know.
more hours than we ever have been in an employed job, and I
Yeah.
never thought I would have, but because you enjoy it as well,
not
sometimes
so
you know,
bad.
it's like you're waking up, right, what we're doing today, what deals, like,
Yeah,
but when I worked my other job, I was like, oh, right, I need to go get in my cold van, and
Yeah.
yeah.
even though I work more hours now, it's you enjoy what you do.
You enjoy
Yeah.
what you're doing. Yeah, it's
Aye.
fun.
You're right. You don't really feel like you're. I mean, you don't know you're working because you're
Aye.
working every other end of the day. But you know, you don't really feel like you've not got that control of somebody over saying you must do this at this time. You must be here, and you must before you book your holiday. Apply to me, and I'll decide if you're going to go on the holiday or not. See when
nothing worse.
you don't have that control over you. As much as we carry all the risk, the financial risk, the drama, yeah, we get the rewards. But see when you don't have that control over you, it's like.
Aye.
I feel it now when I was in employment, I was just walking about with a backpack with hundreds of bricks in it, and then see now, as much as there's all the stresses, but the bag of bricks is
The freedom.
Yeah.
oh, the freedom is now you know
Yeah.
it's not there.
No.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you like. I'm interested in you're taking this. If you struggled in any way with the transition, I know your situation was slightly different, like retiring and then going in, but like for so long in my old job. Like I wanted out. I was like, I knew it was going to be property, but then I was like, you know, you can't just, you know, there's a transition period.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to come, right? But then, so I'm like, right, I want out to, you know, be my own boss, have the freedom, decide what I want to do, etc. And I went, right, this will be great. And then see the date came. Being honest with you, see for about maybe 3 or 4 months was probably the toughest part of my life, right? Because I went for a job that, okay, I didn't want to be in the job, but I had structure, I had routine, like I had to be, you know, I was either working in Grangemouth the latter time, I was up in Dundee, so like I had to leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, I had to leave at 5 if I was going to the gym, like I had to be there at this time. So I've got rid of that and then got everything I wanted, but then I realised I actually want a bit of that old life back, because then sometimes when you're working for yourself, you don't have the same, you don't need to
structure.
then be
Yeah.
somewhere. You do actually need a bit of that structure. Did you have that in any way at all, or you have a cleaner transition, or?
No, I'm exactly just like what you said, and it's having that self-discipline as well, because I feel like the first big thing was me is like, oh, leave your job, become full-time in property, and like
Yeah.
but when I got there, I was like, right, what next? You know, it was like that's like, I mean, we could do one or two deals, and that was our bills covered, and
Yeah.
you get really comfortable and complacent, and I felt like maybe the first 4 months or whatever, you kind of felt like that, and it's like, but what's the next step? Let's set bigger goals and bigger targets.
Yeah.
And that is the goals and targets that, and then you break it down. You go, well, we need to get here. We're here and now. We need to go there. What's the things we need to do to get there? And then that's where you break it down. Well, what do I need to do? My daily tasks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you find that kind of, it's almost self-discipline and motivation to get out there and
Yeah.
go and do it as well. But if
We're still
if you're
doing
not
that.
used to that, it's
Yeah.
finding that. And you probably were like the same, you know.
Yeah.
You've probably been a bit more lost, whereas Jack's had working with your dad. It's made it a little bit. You're accountable to each other, kind of thing, and you're making those goals and targets and things that you're striving for together.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to stick to. Whereas if you were on your own,
Yeah. Yeah, my journey's taken a pure complete 360 because I came into property when I realised the income you can get from the serviced accommodation, right? I mean, my old job was an average 70, 80 grand, right? So I came into this thinking if I could match the salary, but then I don't have this, like, mostly I don't need to go to work, but you know what I mean? I can wait in this income coming in, I don't have the stress of the work, then my life to see my children who are just young will be much easier. So I actually thought, I'll be able to get this income coming in, which is great, which still has, but day to day my life will be easier. And then, as you said, you go to networking events, then you meet people and they go, "Do you want to do this together? Do you want to do that?" And then before you know it, exactly, and then you get back into that. I mean, hold on, it's went for coming into this to try and focus on other aspects of my life with my kids to actually. Now going the complete opposite way, multiple projects,
I know.
the random as anything. We're just about to open a deli.
right, nice.
So like, which is never even where I thought like I was going to
Deli,
go.
aye.
So like, and then we've got the management company, and it's like you're like, "Geez, I didn't even think any of this was possible. I didn't even come into this." But it's just you start speaking to people and open your mouth and network, and then you go, "Why would you not say no if you've got an opportunity? God, just." Don't know how we're going to do it, man, but just I've not even got any money to do it, but just take it, say yes, and just deal with it later on.
yeah.
The difference
See
is
where
you're
it
doing it
takes
for
you.
yourself, though.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
benefit from it, it's your thing.
Oh,
you know?
totally.
And because you're enjoying the day to day, like obviously you're passionate about it. So
Yeah.
it's like you enjoy that part of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not like I'm making this company money, they're getting half my commission or whatever. It's your thing.
Yeah.
And that's the difference as well. Eh?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I totally agree. I look back, and my job was motor trade previously. And when I look back on a Saturday, that was like the busiest day. That was like the focus day, because the company I was working for, we were shutting a Sunday.
Right.
So you would need to do like double the amount on a Saturday to do the same
right.
as like let's say an Arnold Clark or whatever who was opening the Saturday, Sunday. So that was a big focal point. So we always had a target of 50 cars on a Saturday, right? Which was like, record breaking numbers, right, for anywhere in the UK. And we get to that, and see when I look back, I'm like, I actually look back, oh God, that was a dafty, right? See, we got to that number, we're all walking about high five and celebrating, right? And I'm looking like, what the hell was I celebrating? Making somebody else an absolute fortune,
I know.
right?
Work to make somebody else rich.
And for me to get to that, you couldn't finish your finishing time because there was just so much required. So I'm going up the road on a Saturday night, knackered, no seeing my children, no seeing my missus, right? And I've celebrated that.
Aye, I know.
Yeah,
What the
that's
hell?
actually
Where was my
quite
mentality
bizarre.
at that
Yeah.
point in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made my boss even richer.
Aye.
Yeah,
Man,
I
it's
know.
Sales
Yeah.
as well, though. It's
Oh.
rewarding, even just knowing you're doing the volume and the numbers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so you do feel like that.
Yeah, I absolutely love sales. End of the day, we're all sales people deep down, regardless of what you're doing. Everybody's a sales person.
Yeah.
But I do think some of this, when I was talking to my partner about this actually last night, she's came from a sales background and I absolutely love sales. But I think some sales environments are quite toxic in the sense of they get to you like, see if you're a success in sales, right? You're an entrepreneur. You're thinking outside the box. You're only getting the results because nobody else is, thinking the way that you're thinking.
Yeah.
See, when you actually step back and you look at it, you're not an entrepreneur. You're just an employee waiting to be sacked.
Yeah.
You're an entrepreneur when you're doing it for yourself, taking all the risks, etc. But being successful in a job, you're not an entrepreneur.
No.
No,
You never
definitely
will
not.
be. It's only your boss and people above him. It's going to be the
That's
entrepreneurs.
benefiting from it.
Benefiting from them. Aye,
It's
I
probably
know.
the closest thing to it if you're like commission only.
Yes.
Because you have to go out there and make your own money.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're still an employee, you
So,
know.
yeah,
Aye.
That's why the
exactly.
Dubai thing is good, because they're making a lot of money being the sales but
Yeah.
Like the
you
real
know,
estate.
the real estate, but the risks are higher. But if you sell one property, you're getting good commission. And,
Yeah.
I know.
but we don't really have that over here.
No.
I know.
But it's tricky.
Aye.
You know.
I mean, do you think that'll change over time? Because I mean, obviously I've only been in property for, the last couple of years. So when I get involved and I see what you guys are doing in terms of the sourcing, that was like, and probably will be to most people unless you're involved in property, like a new world, right?
Yep.
But I don't know, do you think that over a long period of time, that'll change in the UK? And go more to the model that you guys are using as opposed to a traditional estate agency? Because there's definitely been a turn in the last couple of years, like
Aye.
from that, as I said, earlier on about a lot of people now want to deal with the independent guys, not the big guys. Do you think there will be a change?
There is more people doing like, the kind of Keller Williams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that is that kind of self-employed thing, really, that is it. So potentially, aye.
Yeah.
And then obviously if you're a sourcer, I mean, to scale it, kind of the next step is maybe doing some like on-market stuff, and because we get a lot of leads that we could put on the market, so we've spoken about doing something like that. So
Yeah.
the next step would be like putting some of the leads that can't sell off market on the market for full price. But we don't want to build that other kind of estate agency like the traditional. So then potentially, like that could be the route that some people might go down.
Yeah.
I think some estate agents though, they're their own worst enemy. Because like we've went in, and you try to walk in the door, try to build that relationship. We're in to buy property and just wondering what you've got and all that stuff. Yeah, it's all on our website.
Yeah.
And straight away the door's shut.
Not
So
interested.
They're not
It's so-
interested.
it's- I can't understand it. I genuinely can't understand it.
Yeah, it's just you're going in there as a customer.
A customer at the
basically.
end of the day.
You know what I mean? Saying, listen, we're here to buy. What do you have? It's all on our website. So
Aye, no, I was just going to say it's probably because they just get paid a wage. So
that's
there's
Yeah.
no
thing.
incentive for
Yeah.
the commission to
There's
go.
no
Yeah.
commission.
If I sell this property, I'm getting half the sales fee or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no
Yeah.
incentive to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Build that relationship with your customer.
That's-
Aye.
They must get weird training then. That's all I can
Aye.
think. I mean,
Yeah.
even to be just sitting there and going, having no interest in what you're doing, then they're clearly in the wrong job.
Yeah, I know. Even phone them up sometimes. I'm not having a dig at estate agents here. 'Cause
No, I know.
we know a lot of fantastic estate agents, but you can phone a lot up and say, listen, I'm interested in a property. Can you send the home report? Yep, here it is. What's your email address? Give me email address. They'll send it. Right, okay, thanks, bye.
No, that's it.
And it's
There's
rather
no
than
follow-up.
saying, listen,
I know.
what's your name and what else can I, anything else I
Yeah.
can get you. But as you say, I think the commission-based thing is the way to go.
It's
Because
incentive.
it's definitely an incentive,
Yeah.
Because
you need that.
if it was us on the phone to someone and they maybe inquired about a deal and it maybe didn't suit them after chatting to them, but then you'd be like, well, what's your criteria? What are you
Yeah.
looking for?
Yeah.
Like, let me see if anything else comes up, then I can give it to you.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what training are they getting? If they're giving you, yeah, there's your home report. See you later.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to like your supermarket when I was like younger, in a small shop, people came in and asked for something, and you knew fine that you didn't have it, but you'd still say, "I'll just go and check in the back anyway."
Yeah, yeah.
Because your helpfulness would made them feel
And they
better.
think they're getting a personal service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, at least they tried, as
Yep.
opposed to just saying, yeah, we've not got that in the now. And it's exactly the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
going that extra yard, and that estate agent doesn't know where that extra yard is going to take them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Whether it's
exactly,
a sale
aye.
for them or a commission
Yeah.
for them or not, it's still their customer that they're trying to sell the house for, and
Yeah.
you.
I know.
It's just going places. Why they wouldn't do
Yeah,
it, I
It's-
don't
it's
understand.
building the layers of relationship.
Yep.
I mean, we've got people, they'll contact us and they'll say, listen, want to buy property, this is the criteria. And that one conversation, you can get some information, but
Yeah.
it's always good to say, right, see in a week's time, we'll contact you again. We'll have another wee chat about it.
Yeah.
And this it can be a video, like a Zoom call or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's just building that up,
Yeah.
building the trust.
Yeah.
Aye. I think the ones that you were talking about a minute ago, you I'll send you a home report and never speak to you. I think it just actually just comes down to me, that tells me a lot about the person's character.
Yeah.
Right? That you're actually not a helpful individual. Because I think in sales, if you actually just genuinely want to help somebody,
Yeah.
the financial part reward just takes care
Aye.
of itself. See when
Yep.
when I was in the motor trade and as a manager, right? Do you know the salespeople that really used to frustrate me, right? And you might think, so hear me out. I think this is a weird thing to say, right? But hear me out. See the ones that focused on their commission, right? They had the commission out, right? Hold on, I get 200 quid for that car and 50 quid for this. I'm like, fucking get in the bin, forget about it, right? Because see if you genuinely care about every single customer that comes in and you do everything within your power and follow every bit of the process and never ever slack, right? You will naturally sell, and then when you sell, you will the financial part is the byproduct.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking at that guy's, oh, he's 200 quid to me, right? Then you're going to come across salesy. If you actually
Yeah.
come across as genuine, like wanting to help them and
Aye.
find the best
Yep.
product for that person,
Yep.
they will naturally buy. And you can't then, it's impossible to be the best and not get paid. So the wage is just the byproduct. If you think you need to flip it its head a wee
Yeah.
bit, a lot of
You
people
have.
get caught up with the financial part. Just look after people and then you will be looked after
Yep.
Right.
financially.
And you almost look a bit desperate as well, eh? Like
Aye.
when we have calls with people, like we'll maybe send a deal to them, then jump on a call and stuff to go over the deal and stuff. Like if it's not for them, it's not for them. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's quite simple with property. It's either does it suit your numbers? Is it in the right area? Is it the right kind of property? And that's it. If
Yeah.
it isn't, I'm not going to try going, oh, but you know, like your next one
So
might be
talk
good.
you into it, yeah.
Aye, it either suits you or it doesn't. And
Yeah.
that's almost the basis of it,
Yeah.
you know. So
Something like that call we had yesterday,
aye,
you know, like we were trying to give this investors different options and
overseas
stuff.
investor need to fill that in.
Yeah, overseas,
China?
yeah, somewhere else, somewhere different this time. But yeah, you know, he had his criteria, and then we were trying to give him different options, you know, because he was new to property, he didn't know the best thing, you know, best exits. So we said, well, how about this area and that area, because this is a good rent or this is a good SA area and stuff like that. And you know, he was focused on his area and stuff, quite rightly so as well. You know, that's where he wants to work and he's happy with that. But like we're here to give them those options because you know we've worked different areas and stuff. We know the areas. But if they've got that, no, this is where I want to be, that's fine. You know what I mean? There's no harm in now and again a good deal comes up and you go, how about this one?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not in your area, it's not your criteria, but
Yeah.
the money's, you know,
Yeah.
you know, if the,
The cash
the
flow's
numbers
good.
work, if the
Yeah.
numbers work, the numbers work.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
But that's then going that extra yard. You just never know. They might
Aye.
want it, they might not. But at least it means they're away thinking, well, at least you're thinking about them. They're on your radar.
yeah,
You know.
exactly. Yeah,
And
yep.
if you're not coming along as being pushy, then you know there's no harm done in making that call.
Yeah, yep, that's it. And they know that we're, you know, they're in our group as well, and they see the deals coming in and stuff like that, and they're looking themselves at the deals. But we can also say to them, listen, you know, that was part of the chat yesterday. You know, we can give you the deals before they go into the group. You know, there's options here as well, and we
Yeah.
can give you, you know, would that
First
suit
pick.
you or would that suit you? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but and it's up to him to make his own mind up at the time
Yeah.
whether it's good for him, you know. So,
That's right.
aye,
Good.
it's busy that way though. Eh?
Aye. Sometimes it's even just educating the people as well that maybe if they are an overseas investor, they don't know the areas and like they maybe don't know the SA strategy and how well a 2-bed terrace house in I don't know Coatbridge might work as an SA for contractors, for example.
Yeah.
They just think
Who'd have
Glasgow, Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I know.
Aye, exactly.
Because everybody thinks SA it's holidaymakers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
It doesn't have to be.
no, the one we had in Grangemouth never had any holidaymakers.
No.
Eh?
Weirdly enough.
I know, I know. And we're still asked today, is Grangemouth a good place?
Yeah.
And as much as they're decommissioning Ineos, that's going to take years.
Yeah.
You know, and then they've got plans to build flats and all that sort of thing. So there's always going to be something happening in Grangemouth,
Yeah.
you know. So
Central
Yeah.
as well, not far from the motorway.
That's
you know,
right.
it's ideal.
Jump into Edinburgh, into Glasgow.
Yep.
It's-
It's a good spot for sure.
Yeah,
Aye.
you've got to do your homework in an area. It's just we've got one there now. It's almost finished in Inverkeith, just across the bridge. So it's literally about 300 yards for the park and ride in
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
You
perfect.
know, so again, that's ideal.
Just under the bridges then. Is
Just-
it?
aye,
Just
just-
nestled under it.
Aye.
But, you go over the main bridge first left,
Down
and
the
then
left.
you go under the bridge,
I know we are.
and
Yeah.
it's just near
Nice wee bit.
the railway line.
Aye.
It's a great wee bit, you know. So that's hopefully going to be contractors as well. So
Yeah.
I went right. Okay, it's Babcock. It's that area.
Yeah.
I messaged you through the weekend.
Mm.
So I've went onto the what do you call it, the Recise site. I've emailed them directly. I've been on the wee Facebook pages, the wee groups.
Yeah.
all about Rosyth, saying, listen, we've got an Airbnb here, anybody that works there,
Yeah.
you know, or if you know anybody,
Yeah.
and it's just putting it out there, eh? Although we've got somebody to manage it, you've
Yeah.
still got to do your own wee bits of
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
research and, you know,
Yeah.
and try and find anybody that wants to live there. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
So, aye.
Who would have thought these areas would be good for SA?
I know.
Like,
I know. But I
Crazy.
think it's for anybody that's listening that's not in the world of property, the terminology you're using there is the kind of, I would say, the correct terminology, because everybody thinks when they say the word Airbnb, as you said a minute ago, they instantly then think of the tourist market.
Aye.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's actually just a very, very small percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
that is.
yourself, a lot of them, you get people just coming. You could have somebody coming for a local wedding, a local funeral. You know, there's a million and one reasons. Any, it's
Absolutely.
the same reason why you would book a hotel. There's a million one of them.
Aye.
Yep. I
You know, it's
Mhm.
not just. But I think sometimes that terminology Airbnb
It sounds like a holiday place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
all the time.
misconstrues
It
a lot
does,
of what it
aye.
actually is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a
Yep.
bed for the night that anybody can
Aye, I know.
sleep in. Really.
Mhm. Yep, I
Is
know.
that, you do quite a lot of holiday maker stuff, is that right?
Yeah, so most are. So we've got the management business, and a lot of that is mainly tourists. However, you know, to reiterate what you said, it's a lot of it can be for a different market. So one of them, one of my own personal ones, which just went live a couple of months ago, I thought would have been, you know, it's right, and it's in front of a, you know, beautiful castle. The standard of it, it's the highest standard of any property I've ever done.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's just absolutely beautiful, right? And I went, right, that's 100% the tourist market, right?
Right. Attract them with the nice photos and stuff.
Ah, exactly.
Yeah.
Photography's been done. There's just, you know, the tables. It just looks absolutely beautiful, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of place that you'd want to take your missus away for the night,
Yeah.
right? See, ever since it's been in, straight away, and day one when it went live, it was a contractor booked it
Really?
through Booking.com. Obviously, I'm going to divert that.
Aye.
Hopefully,
you've
nobody
got
for
to.
nobody for Booking.com is
Save
going to
another
listen.
20%.
Exactly. Took that first one, and then now I've got the guys' details, and they're pretty much booked in every Monday to Friday. To I think up to September, they're just renewing every so often.
Really? That's good.
But I
Well
mean,
done.
we took one the other day off them the other day, extend their booking. 14 nights, 200. I think it works at 249 quid a night. 14 nights, I think we invoiced about 3,900 and something quid
Wow,
for
brilliant.
14 nights. And bear in mind that's straight, you know, no commission or anything
Aye, absolutely.
off of that. I mean, that's a lot of money. Whereas,
Aye. That's a Lamborghini.
exactly, 100%.
It's Miles Peril and
Aye, exactly. A lot of bills to pay off of it, right?
Aye,
Right enough.
aye,
But
of
again, if you
course.
can get the bookings Monday to Friday, and then you can get the tourist. You know, we've got contracts with NHS. You know, there's a lot of doctors and that come up for down south. You know, unless you were in this world, who would ever think?
I know.
Who would ever think about that?
Yep.
Contracts with the council. There's guys, IT consultants building new IT systems that are coming over and need places to stay. As I said, it can be
Yep.
anybody.
I know.
You
Yep.
know,
And it's always good going on that, like whoever's council it is, going on the council's website
yeah,
just to see is something, you know, is there a development going on or something
Yeah.
like that. And if there is, you know that they'll need contractors.
yeah,
You know, it's always a wee bit of research, eh?
Yeah.
You see. But as you say, it's unexpected who you'll get in
Yeah.
your properties.
Aye.
Really
Yeah.
unexpected, eh?
I think one I wouldn't mind touching on before we wrap up is you guys obviously doing SA as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys find the licensing. I mean,
Have you had any problems with Fife
any
Council?
issues?
Or?
I mean, I've got a split opinion on it. My opinion's 50-50. The one I was just talking about there, I went through a 9-month court case, right?
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare, right? However, at the end of the day, it wasn't the council's fault, it wasn't my fault, it was just how the neighbours felt and decided to want to take it the full way. However, the council were really, really supportive. They actually, in the end, what took it so long is they challenged the council and took the council to court, right? And that's what took so long. But for me, my opinion is, and because the reason I'm saying this, because there's a lot of people that reach out to me and say, any tips with the licensing? For me, if you talk about relationships, it's all relationship based. See, for me, see if your paperwork's belt and braces, like first time round, down to like how neat is the handwriting? Can they actually read that's what it says, right? If everything for me is belt and braces and you send it down, there shouldn't really be any issues. The only other issues, in my opinion, that can come up is for example, neighbours, anybody who wants to object. But
Yeah.
if you read everything out, obviously every council region is slightly different. But if you read everything out and you comply with that, it's really down to you. If you send paperwork over that's like a bag of crap with documents missing, whatever, you're going to just put to the end of the queue. And then guess what happens the next time the next application comes in, it's got your name on it. Where's it going? It's the back of the queue.
Aye.
I know.
You know, there's a lot of people moan about this licensing, but a lot of it's down to us. It's the problem.
It's a tricky
supply,
one, eh?
yeah.
Because like we know that our Edinburgh one,
it'll be hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard. It's going to be a struggle to get a license.
But there's also other exits on that deal.
Yeah.
You know, like
And we've got to look at those
Aye.
options as well. We know that Fife Council are decent council for SAs. So, I mean, the one in Inverkeithing, we'll need to look at that, getting that started. The one we had in Grangemouth, I was in the middle of the application for that one. And, you know, you've got to put your application on a lamp post beside the house and
Yeah.
that stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And then we heard that I'm coming back to Scotland, so we were going to lose the house anyway. So I just,
Oh.
you know, I never bothered about that. Finishing the
That was that
application,
Right.
Our other one was in Newcastle, so obviously different rules,
Different
So,
licence.
yeah,
Right.
but we've handed that one back because that was a rent to SA we had in Newcastle,
Right.
and the landlord put his price up.
Right.
So, and it
the
was
margins
quite,
were quite tight.
yeah,
eh?
the margins were quite
Right.
tight at the
Right.
time. Decent wee property, almost like 10 minutes bus into the town centre,
Aye.
But as soon as he put his prices up, we thought, you know, it's not worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I had it
No.
for 3 years. Like that was the first deal, one of the ones we bought off the Sourcer.
Right.
Yeah.
And it done fine for us. It got it started and gave us a lot of experience. But it was a case
Yeah.
of like furniture was getting tired and all that, and it's like we got to spend like £5,000 maybe to get a full house furnished. For then to just no one really make more than breaking even really. So
Right.
Yeah.
what's the point, eh? So
Yeah.
Have you see with the rent to SA one, is the person that you're renting it, so the owner, have they not decided this is actually quite a cushy number? Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it this way?
Why am I not doing it
Why
myself?
am I not doing it myself?
Yeah.
Have any of them? Have you come across any of that?
No,
no, I mean
not really,
Yeah.
yeah.
one we've got now. I mean we're quite pally with the landlord. Like I've actually sold him deals, and that's how we built up the reputation.
Right.
And he was going to SA it, and then he got an offer from a company saying we'll give you like do the rent to SA model. And I was chatting to him, and obviously he knows us and stuff, so decided to do it with us.
Right.
We're paying a bit more rent than the market rent as well.
Right.
So what he's making off it is no maybe that much less than what he'd make off an SA, you know. So,
Right. Right.
And we're still
And
making
he's not
off
had
it
the
as well.
headache and
Yeah.
everything else.
But we know
Aye.
it'll do well with the numbers.
Yeah.
So that's why we went, right,
Yeah.
let's just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't
Yeah.
get the capital appreciation off them, but if you look at your return on money,
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying the rent, maybe you're paying 1 month's up front before you get started.
Yeah.
You've got the furniture, but apart
Yeah.
from that, you know, it's if you look at like if people say how much money you can get, how quick you can get your money back out, it's all money out within 6
Yeah.
months to a year,
Yeah.
and then it's just cash flow
Yeah.
Yeah,
for having
that's
none of your own money in.
Yeah.
All right, you don't get capital appreciation, but still cash flows into the
Still
business.
cash flow,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Pays for the insurance and the Lambo, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I suppose to answer your question, Lynn, about because what I see certainly a lot in the management business is that why a lot of people are getting a management business to manage it, because there is definitely a big divide now in the people who want to manage it themselves and getting a management company, and a lot of people are moving to a management company because it's more hospitality now than it is.
Yeah.
I'm just renting my room out for the night, and there's a big divide between professionalism of doing it
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, the amount of money we've invested in systems, processes, AI, like speed, automation, smart locks. There's a lot of things in the properties that we've got that mainly drive guest experience, and in return
Yeah.
that drives
Yeah,
the
of
revenue.
course.
But if you've just got, even whether it's one or a couple, and you're trying to manage it yourself, you're not going to have all those systems.
Yeah.
And then the guys like us who have got the management company have got the upper hand because we're delivering a better guest experience. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's where we're
Got the
starting.
quality over it.
We're
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
to see a lot of people coming over, and the thing is, what a management company charges compared to what you'll pay to Booking.com or that, etc. Anyway, there's not really much
Yeah.
much in
Aye,
it. So
I
even
know.
if you're managing it yourself, you still need to pay out that 18%, including the VAT, whatever it is, to
That's right.
Booking.com.
Aye.
But
Yep,
I think
I know.
there's a divide between the professionalism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
We prefer to just outsource that as well and just give
Yeah.
it to the management company. It's
Yeah.
not our thing. I mean, how much time it would take away from our business.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing that we're good at is say the sourcing the deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to focus on management and stuff as well.
Yeah,
It just
especially if you want to scale,
Aye.
you just can't do it yourself.
Too
you
much.
know.
it's like you've got obviously the management. So imagine you try to do that and source the deals as well. And it's like
Aye.
you do what you're good at, and outsource it
Aye.
as much as you can anyway.
Aye, exactly. No, I totally agree with you. I think I think I took a big learning curve at the start of this because I thought to myself, no, why would I want to, for example, why would I want to get you to source me a deal when I could just do it myself or vice
Aye.
versa, whatever?
Yeah.
And then you go, no, hold on a second here, because I'm not the professional at that. So
Yeah.
if I want a deal, I'm going to come to you because
I know.
you know that world much more than I'm ever going to. So
Yep.
you know, your fees 100% worth
Aye.
you know my time.
Yep.
Me trying to make a backside of it, and I don't know the world.
Yep.
Aye.
Yeah,
And that's the
exactly.
thing, it's the world you enter, and you think everybody's got their own professions in this
Yeah.
world, and we're all using each other.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be, because that's what
Yeah.
makes it run smooth, basically. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we scale for a start.
Aye,
Aye. I mean, like say our fees like 3K, like what can you go out and do to make that 3K? You could, all right, I'll go and save like $3,000, no pay is it, and I'll go and find a deal. But you could be doing better things with your time, with your management business, and
Aye.
probably
Yeah.
make more than that in that
Aye.
time, you know. So
aye, exactly.
aye.
Definitely.
Well, listen, guys, I've certainly think we'll bring it home at that, 'cause I could certainly probably sit here and talk all day. I've learned a lot off you. I love how you guys work together. It's certainly, obviously, for anybody that's listening, I've never met you guys in real life before. I've only seen you in social media.
It's been a pleasure
However,
meeting you guys.
however, how you come across in social media is exactly how you come across
Yep.
in real life. So
Thanks,
appreciate
aye.
your time, guys,
No, I
and
appreciate that.
I can't
Thanks
wait to
so
see where the
much.
future goes.